The helmet that I purchased at the same exact time that I purchased a scooter, I recommend that for anyone getting a scooter. Don't buy the scooter until you can afford your helmet at the same exact time. Please do not ride ever without your helmet. There are cheaper helmets out there. Any helmet is a good helmet versus not having a helmet, but it is nice to get a couple extra features to add to your safety and your enjoyment of your scooter and your rides. So one thing I did is I purchased this Funwict. I'll post a link to it online later, but for right now, I purchased this helmet. It does come with a light. It's already got a charged battery in it, ready to go, starts lighting up. They also very nicely provide another battery for when that dies. I'm very impressed with the light, the extra battery, the packaging. So it does have different settings for the light mode. Keep that stuff lit. Don't put it on a dim lit setting or a hardly blinking setting. You want to be glowing like a Christmas tree out there for visibility. That's the first thing people say when they have an accident with a pedestrian or a bicyclist or a scooter or anything. I didn't see them. Because they're looking for cars. Their minds and their eyes are trained. They're looking for bigger vehicles in the road with their peripheral vision and all that. Be visible. It helps reduce your chance of getting hurt. This and that were all bagged up into this nice carry case. I kind of like this, so when you get to your location, you don't have to walk around with a stupid helmet. At least you can put it in a bag that has some aesthetically pleasing type labeling on it and texture to it, whatever. This also comes in the bag. These are going to be the shades that are provided. Now, we talk about helmet safety, we talk about scooter safety, we talk about all kinds of safety issues. You get a bug in the eye, you're riding your scooter, maybe you're just doing 4 miles an hour. A little bit faster than walking. Maybe you're doing up to the 10 or 15 miles an hour. Now you got a real concern. You're driving along, you don't have any sunglasses or eye protection on or any type of shades to protect your eyes. You get a mosquito in your eyeball at 10 miles an hour just before you hit a rock in the road, you're going to get hurt. I don't want that to happen. This is not going to be your story. We're going to make sure we got our helmets and we got some eye protection. Now, the eye protection was a little confusing to me at first. I'm like, how the heck do you put this thing on? It's got, 3 fasteners looking like things. But what those fasteners really are, they're just magnets. So then you take your helmet over here, and of course the tail light is going to be at the back of the helmet. So in the front of the helmet, you'll see there's a little depression right here, little depression right there, little depression right there. Those are the magnet. Come on, baby. There you go. The magnet location, so they just kind of snap into place there. And once they're in there pretty good. I mean, they'll let you fold it down a little bit from this one magnet sensor, securing that one, but you bring it right back up, and then that's secured. So the other thing I do have to point out, the helmet strap, this strap is to go under your chin. So you have to adjust this one, and this one is very easy to adjust. You just grab the clip thing here, and you can pull it to make more room for these back legs of the helmet strap to go to the back of the helmet. So you're going to add slack to this one, and you're going to add slack to this one. Reason being, this is going to go under your chin, and you want to make sure back here is the setting for the head diameter, so to speak. This knob right here, initially I have a big head or a fat head or a big brain, whatever. Initially loosen it all the way out. Don't tighten it up. Loosen it all the way out so that you can then, okay, this is the loosen. So counterclockwise, you're going to be loosened. Clockwise, you're going to be loosened. Loosen it all the way out. And then you're going to take your helmet. Oh, boy. You're going to, there's the face shield, which goes in the front. We know that much. We're then going to take it, put this part under our chin, feed our head through, hold on, pause. The helmet will clip right there in the center, which I didn't realize until now. So you've got the red, which snaps into the black, and then the best way to do it is just kind of ease it on your head. Got our shades on. Then we're going to take these two guys. We're going to snap them together. Snap. And then we're going to go to the back to adjust that. You want that adjustment for this back knob to be tight as tight as rain. You want it to be right and tight is what I was trying to say. Sorry, I still need another coffee. So I'm going to do one of these here real quick. Then we're going to show this. To adjust. You want this to be secure under your chin, and we're almost ready to take that first ride on the new Joyhis. So we've got this. We're going to get the light going in the back. The scooter also has, I did mount the phone. Let's cover that real quick. I'll also put a link in for this charger. So I thought the helmet was a pretty good deal. Definitely going to provide a link for that and rate and evaluate it as well. But the phone charger also I thought was a pretty darn good deal, and it seems like it's a very well designed and robustly usable phone mount. So the way it comes, it's going to come, this is the phone mount here. I showed you the picture of it in the first video, the unboxing of this scooter. But now I'm going to review how I got it on there. So it comes with one plastic rubber type gasket in there inside of this casing, the main housing. So that one gasket, so to speak, and these two other gaskets come with it. The two other ones are for if you had a thinner handle or thinner diameter handle that you were attaching to. So we didn't need these two for installing this phone charger on. Oh, of course I got that upside down too. Well, the good thing about that, there we go, it easily adjusts. So this is an e-sulk phone charger. So it comes with these two, and the third one that's still being used, gaskets in it. On the outside of it, it has this screw. It's another very easily usable wing nut type screw. And you're gonna have to take this completely off of it. Take the rubber gasket, the one that we do need, the biggest one, the longest of the three. You see these two lengths here. The one that we're using is the longest one of the three. We leave that in there. But then you just grab the bottom of this. The screw is going to be removed. We take the screw out. You grab this with one hand, and then you're grabbing this other side with your other hand. You pull them apart, and you just kind of clamshell them on the handlebar, kind of like I'm representing my finger. Just kind of clamshell it on there. Wedge it over to the side. I may have it too close to the center scooter dashboard area, so I may move it out later on, but that's fine. And then the next thing you have to do is take this screw back, and you're going to have to push it in a little bit to get that to feed. Well, do as I say, not as I do. It's difficult doing it with one hand. I will get better, and I was wondering why it wasn't locking like it should have. I guess I didn't have this nut secure in the recessed portion of the plastic. So as you can see here in this zone right there, there's the hexagon shape right there. So that is the shape and the portion or the point where this nut, that black nut I just showed you in my hand a second ago, this one, goes in, and it fits in that hexagonal shape. So we're just going to get that to fit in there. That's what's going to kind of lock it in. So now we've got that in there. That's what this is going to lock to, and it's encased in the housing for the plastic, which will make it all work together in good harmony. You want to make sure that that's still being seated. The screw, well, the nut I should say, you can tell, is still inside the housing. It hasn't backed out of it. You know, it hasn't walked out with the thread as I'm feeding it through with the tightening motion. Because it's always going to be righty tighty, lefty loosen. So if we were looking at the front of this from over here, be righty, which would be clockwise. And so we're just going to keep going. Once again, we don't want to tighten this to the point of you know, our knuckles are white and we're grunting and groaning and squeezing our guts to get it real tight. But you do want it secure, so you're going to kind of find a happy medium between loose and white knuckle tight. That's what we're looking for, that happy medium. A little more towards the extra security versus the extra looseness, but not too secure. These things will break on you, and then you got another issue just from being too forceful. You want to be forceful, but not too forceful. Okay, so we've covered the helmet. We've covered... Oh, when the scooter first got hooked up, it did show a full battery on the dashboard. Once again, you hold this button down for 3 seconds, gets it to activate. So we first looked at it, my first video on the scooter review. It showed a full battery. However, the charger was green. Now the charging port for this is going to be a little port right behind this red weather cover, dust cover, all of the above. And what you're going to want to do is, first thing you do when you get it out, you get it set up, plug that baby in. I will get that secured once I free my other hand. Second I see this thing as a green charge, I'm pulling it off. I don't know if that's good or bad practice, but when you see that on your dashboard you got a full battery, and then you look down, you see that's green too, don't leave it up, just pull it off. Number one, you want to save electricity. You don't want to be wasting electricity. It's not free. It's definitely not cheap either. But the other thing is, I don't know, maybe there's the older batteries that apply to more, but I didn't know if overcharging is going to be worse than undercharging, and you don't want to take the chance. You did just spend, so for me, I spent on this scooter, I got the phone charger and the helmet, my handy dandy shades and light, all of which came to about $234, $220. Do not purchase a scooter without buying a helmet at least at the very same time. Get additional lights. I'm going to be getting additional lights and different high-vis markings that I'm going to share with y'all to hopefully help avoid, you know, bad situations. But for now, we're about ready to get her taken out in the first ride, and see you next video.